Hello everyone, how's it going? Marksman520 here, bringing you some more Ireland. And as we left off, we took Tunis here. Irish Tunis now exists on the map, which is nice. And now we pretty much are going to be waiting until our infamy starts dropping because we literally cannot do anything, or well, we can't do much until our infamy declines. There isn't much we can do. I don't believe we can colonize anything here. Because we don't have the life rating for it. So there isn't much we can do. The only thing we can do to get more territory would be to take it. But obviously if we go over 25 infamy, we will be attacked by pretty much everybody, which is not a good thing to have happen. So we're building up some forces. We still have to get our soldiers back from Tunis, or most of them, except for one unit. So they should be arriving in Cork here fairly soon, and then we can get on with what's going on. So um, then pretty much we gotta wait for infamy to go down, which sucks. Having to wait for that, I might just cut to when something actually happens, because it's going to take a fairly long time to get down to where I'd like to get down to, because once we start justifying a war, if we get caught like we did before, pretty much the first opportunity to get caught, then there's going to, be a huge problem. So we want to get that down pretty much to 0 before we do anything, because we might take 20 more infamy for caught fairly early. So Austria wants military access. We'll give them that just because we can, and there's no problem. Looks like Great Britain and France are at war. Let's take a look at what's going on as far as wars. So we have the Ottomans are still at war with Tripoli. That's going to probably be over soon. Texas and Mexico are still at war, and it looks like Mexico is, they're 75% of the way to completing their objective, or the war is 75% in favor of Mexico right now. Russia is at war with Kokolan, or Kokon, duh. And France is attacking Dutch Guyana, and they're at war with Brazil, Austria, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Russia, as well as the United Kingdom. So that's what's going on there. And we got Spain and Morocco at war. So that's what's going on as far as wars throughout the world. We're no longer involved in a war. Um, wouldn't be too bad, I guess, if the United Kingdom wanted to drag us into a war with France, because I think we might, if we were to go at war with France, we could probably snag these territories up here, maybe. But that would cost some infamy, because we wouldn't have a casus belli, but I don't think we're going to be going to war with France. So that's unfortunate, because we might have been able to get some more North African territory. Colonial archaeology. An archeolo- ar- archeolo- an archaeological excavation in one of our colonies has yielded fantastic results in the form of several artifacts tentatively dated to the late Paleolithic. Paleolithic. The discovery promises to give us new insights in the ancient life and development of the area, and the Irish National Archaeological Society is hailing the discoveries as a great breakthrough for Irish archaeology. I said that right. The artifacts obviously need to be put in a museum, but where should we put them? The Archaeological Society strongly argues in favor of the Dublin Museum of History, while others have hinted that it might be better just to put it in a local museum, so blah blah blah. Somewhere locally. We're going to put this in, We could lose militants in Tunisia. That's huge, but we get way more prestige if we put them in the Dublin Museum of History. So we're going to go and put it into a local museum because we will lose infamy in Tunisia, or not infamy, we'll lose militants, so there's less chance of a revolt, which is what we want because we will not have a ton of soldiers there. Even though, unlike with my Serbia game, we can reinforce the area, unlike with Serbia, because we do have coastal territory. We're pretty much every single province except, I think, this one here, Kildare, have a coastal territory. Every province except one has a coastal territory, so there's only one landlocked province in our whole country, not including Tunisia, because that's technically not part of our country. It's actually technically a colony, so we have a colony. We do have a lot of diplomatic points. So let's see. Scotland. We can't do anything with Scotland. I don't like you, Scotland. France, nah, it's probably best that we don't become friends with France. Impossible. They don't want an alliance. They don't want military access. They won't give us. They don't want it, and they won't give us it. We don't have a very good relation with them. So we're gonna leave it at that for right now. We don't have very good relationship with anybody. Austria likes us, kind of. Then Great Britain likes us, or the United Kingdom. They like us. France likes us a little bit. Spain likes us a little bit. It's just barely, it's like 20. There's barely any green. The Ottomans like us a little bit as well. Anyone over here? That's United Kingdom territory. Colombia, Venezuela, Ecuador, Peru, Bolivia, they all like us. That's also UK territory. Texas likes us, I believe. 15, they like us a little bit. Mexico likes us a little bit, so let's see if we can't increase our relationship with Spain. Let's go for Spain. Try to be friends with Spain, since we are going to be very close to Spain. Maybe Portugal. Maybe Austria. We're already at 50, so they're pretty much, besides the United Kingdom, they're the only nation that likes us more than, like, pretty basic. 50 relationship points with Austria and 20 with a lot of other nations, as well as 5, some zeros, and some negatives. Negative 15 with Sweden. The United Kingdom is maxed out at 200. They like us. The Ottomans are at 20. So I think we're going to go and... Did we just increase relationship? No, we did not. So we're going to go and increase relationship with Austria because they already like us. So we'll make them like us a bit more. I'm not going to do France. I don't feel like that's really probably a smart move on our part. Since we're in good favor with the United Kingdom, I don't think it's a very good move to become friends with France, who I'm pretty sure hates the United Kingdom's guts. We're also going to do Scotland, I think. We can't do Scotland? Can we not do Scotland? No, because they're a satellite. So we cannot do Scotland. Who else could we possibly increase relationships with? We could do it with South American countries, but I don't really feel that that's a great use of our diplomatic points. Oh, we could do it with some of these Asian nations, but that's probably not the best idea, since I'd want to conquer some of those nations as well. We'll increase our relationship with Portugal. Let's get on the good side of Portugal and Spain. We're going to leave France, and I think we'll go with the Netherlands as well. Or we won't. Oh, we don't have enough diplomatic points? Alright. So we'll do the Netherlands sometime in the near future. The main reason why I was doing that wasn't necessarily to make friends. That's just kind of a bonus, but I wanted to get rid of some of these diplomatic points because they would stop growing and they'd just be sitting there being useless. So military access with France, sure, you can have military access. I don't really care. Hopefully that doesn't make the United Kingdom hate us too much, because we do not want them to attack us, because they will kick us in the face, because they have way more soldiers and way more capabilities and way more money and all this good stuff. Although our economy is actually doing extremely well. I could possibly decrease the taxes, but I don't think that's necessary, because everyone, I mean, 34% of the poor class is getting luxury goods. They're getting a decent amount of luxury goods. Very few people, even in the middle class, only 2% are getting none of their needs, so I think that's fairly decent. We could probably decrease it just a little bit. There we go. And the rich, everybody's doing okay. No one's really having a hard time in our country. And we even have our tariffs like all the way down. So, and we're still making a ton of money, so who owes us money? Luxembourg, Holstein, who's never going to pay their 29 pounds. That's fine. Denmark and the Ottomans still owe us a huge chunk of money, and hopefully they will pay that back, even though they owe just a fraction of how much money we actually have. They owe like a little over 1,000. We got over 25K in the bank. Our economy is doing extremely well. We could probably actually increase our spending. Spend more on administration, still making money. Stockpile can go up a tiny bit. We do not need to increase the tariffs, and we'll increase military spending as well, because why not? We have the money for it.